the studio of the Way Network, I want to welcome you once again to this session of our lecture, which is basically an online school, because with the Way Network, basically what we do is to teach you and to give you relevant tools that is applicable in everyday life. I want to welcome you once again to this session. All our viewers in Ghana and outside Ghana, all over the world, I want to welcome you. We love you and we cherish you. And I want to thank you for all your support, for your contribution, and your advice that you've been giving to us. And this has sustained us to this very moment. We very much appreciate you. We appreciate all your influence and your contribution and everything you're doing. It's our prayer that the good Lord would see you through and meet you at the point of your need. That whatever we are sharing would be of benefit to you and collectively to the whole planet as a whole. Once again, I'd like to thank you and welcome you to this session of our lecture. And today we are going to talk about time. And you see, the point is everything within this physical world or everything within manifest creation operates with time. Everything is time bound. And time is only relevant in this physical plane. Beyond this physical plane, time is immaterial. But here, what makes our lives limited or makes our lives well defined is because of time and space. Because time and space determines duration. And that duration determines what we call age or how long we live on this planet Earth. So that is why life on the planet Earth is not a permanent life. It is a life which is leading towards degradation. So if you don't understand the times and the seasons, you'll be lost in everything that you do. Well, to everything, there's time and season for everything under the planet Earth, under the sun. The Bible says in Ecclesiastes that to everything, there's time and season to every purpose under the sun. So under the sun, which is the planet Earth on which we live, everything is governed by time and is governed by season. Every purpose is governed by time and is governed by season. And for you to be triumphant and to be successful, you must understand the time and the seasons of this planet Earth, and then understand your personal time and your personal season. Because the point is, if you do not understand the time and the seasons and your time and your seasons, you'll be doing things anyhow. You'll be praying anyhow. You'll be engaging in business transactions anyhow. And at the end of the day, what happens is that the times may work against you or for you. And these are some of the reasons why we Christians pray, but we don't have answers. Because you just don't pray anyhow. Jesus Christ said, you pray and you don't have answers because you pray amiss. But the truth of the matter is that you have to pray according to time and according to seasons. Because the point is, they are everything that operates with time has when it will come into manifestation. So let's say, for instance, if I have an appointment with you, I'll give you time. And it is based on that time that will bring our appointment into fruition. If you come before the time, you would have to wait. And if you come after the time, you may miss my presence. So everything that will come to manifestation within manifest creation is governed by time. But the only thing that rules manifest creation is time. And this is what we have to be very conscious of. And time is a luxury nobody can afford. It's so expensive and priceless that you cannot afford time. Unfortunately, what is happening is that we think we are growing, but actually we are degrading. Life within manifest creation is never growing, but it's rather degrading. And this is the illusion we have in our consciousness. So by the time you realize, that very time which you refuse to realize has catch up with you. And then there's nothing you can do. Because the life that you are giving is degrading and it's never growing. Because when we grow, then we live into infinity. But because it is reducible, let me explain better. Let me give you better appreciation of what I'm trying to say. For instance, when you come into this world and you are supposed to live for, let's say, 80 years, you count up to 80 years. So you can, age 1, age 2, age 3, age 4, age 5. But the truth of the matter, that is not how the universe counts it. The universe counts down and we count up. So when you are given 80 years, you have all the 80 years. Then they begin to count down. 79, 78, 77, you come to 60, you come to 50. When it gets to 0, you are flash out. So the universe counts down, but because we don't understand the principle of time, we count up. So, but because we are counting up, we think we are going to live here forever. Or some people even think they may not even die. And by the time you realize the time that you are given, the allocated time or the allotted time that is given to you on the planet Earth is spent. And you realize that you spend all your life that you've been given on Earth for nothing. So understanding the time and the seasons determines how successful you will be in your endeavors and your activities, and how you can match up with your purpose on Earth. This is very, very important. So you realize that in all civilized society, in all societies where education and people are well informed, the only thing that they don't joke with is time. And when you go to certain parts of the world where people are not so educated and their consciousness is dormant, what they play with is time. An enlightened soul or a civilized person don't joke with time. But an unenlightened soul plays around with time. The difference is that the awakened soul knows that time in this manifest creation is the only thing you cannot afford. And is the most priceless thing you will ever have. And all accountability will be based on time. Because if there is judgment, as the Bible puts it or the Quran puts it, it's all about judgment about time. The allocated time that was given to you on earth, what did you use it for? So all this thing we are talking about, judgment and all those things, and life after death, reincarnation and all is encapsulated within the concept of time on earth. So understanding the time is very, very important in our daily endeavor as we walk through the surface of the planet Earth. And the earlier you begin to value time within manifest creation, the better your life will be. Because everything is programmed. And it is programmed within time. Maybe you have been programmed that at the age of 20 years, at 7:45, you're supposed to meet somebody at East Legon. And your meeting with that man at East Legon will determine your next phase and your next dimension of your life. So when such a person gives you an appointment to meet him at East Legon at 7:45, the blessing is coded for 7:45. So when you miss that 7:45 and you miss that appointment and you miss that person, that part of your life that will take you to the next dimension will be omitted. Then you realize that the next circle of your life will be bound in shadows and in misery. And this is what a lot of people are ignorant about. And so we must be aware. And this is the reason why I have taken the pain to come out with this lecture. I'm not here to tell you about how to manage your time. No, that's not my duty. It's your responsibility to know how to manage your time. But I'm here to let you know in the times and the seasons, which of them are most favorable for you. In that you don't have to joke with those times and with those seasons. Because everything within manifest creation is functioning on time. Even the time you pray is very necessary. Because the cosmos opens. You know, the Bible says that, I think Jacob, he said, at a certain time of his life, when he slept and he put his head on the rock, He said he saw the heavens open at a certain time, and the angels were ascending and descending. So even with the celestial ministry, there are times that they come to the earth, and there are times that they have to exit the earth plane. So you notice that when David was wrestling with the angel made a statement. He said that, allow me to go, for day is coming. Because that energy knows that he is not mandated to operate in the day. That is not his time. That is not his jurisdiction. That is not his domain to operate in. So he was pleading with Jacob to allow him to go, because the day is coming. Because that day that is coming, another entity or another energy must take over that period. And he was not supposed to be there at that time when the energy is coming. So he has to ascend for that energy to do what? To descend. And by he holding him captive, some way kind of disrupting the cosmic flow. So everything within manifest creation is based on time and season. And that is why within manifest creation, we have two laws that governs manifest creation. We have the law of inevitable occurrence, the cosmic law of inevitable occurrence, and the cosmic law of time and periodicity. Now, this is what it means that the cosmic law of time and periodicity simply means that the cosmic law that governs time and period within manifest creation. So that means there is a law that governs time and governs period. And this law that governs time and period, which we call the cosmic law of time and periodicity, determines how things occur inevitably. So these two laws works hand in hand. They work in tandemly. So the cosmic law of time and periodicity moves in line with the cosmic law of inevitable occurrence. So if you know what time you have to be at what place, inevitably what's supposed to manifest or what's supposed to happen at that time will happen. So understanding the time and season is very important. Even this our physical plane, there are different watches that control our space. And we must understand. And to be able to be successful in your spiritual battle or in your prayer life, you must understand what we call the four watches of the day. And then that's why we have the four cardinal points. And with the four cardinal points, we have the four watches. And we have the four gates. All is encapsulated within time. So you must understand these things. Otherwise, you will be struggling, and sometimes you may think it's a devil or a witch in your hometown causing you problems. And I can tell you on authority that majority of our problems is founded on ignorance. The base of our problem, most of us, majority of us, the problems we are being faced with is the problem of ignorance. Not some witch somewhere in our hometown. Because even the power that the witch or that evil spirit possess in order to destroy you is based on the fact that you are ignorant. Because those negative forces derive their powers from your ignorance. If you are conscious and you are aware of what to do, whatever they do will not affect you. But if you are ignorant of it, then when they do, it will affect you. So actually, that which is destroying you is not that which you know, but it is that which you are ignorant about. And one of the things which is destroying creation, which is destroying humanity, is the ignorance of time. When to do what? When to say what? When to apply what? Because doing the right thing at the right place at the wrong time makes the whole thing wrong. Because timing is very essential. And everything within that concept must be kept in the balance. And what we don't understand is anything you project in time within your conscious mind projects to your subconscious mind. And then the universe begins to play along that timing. So when you have an appointment with somebody, and so I will come 2 o'clock for us to discuss this business, your conscious mind sends this database to your subconscious mind. And now the subconscious mind, which is your silent energy, which is the engineer of all manifestation, will now begin to program the energy within the universe. Now, all that you need, be it favorable or unfavorable, will manifest within that time. Now, when you forfeit that agreement or when you are late with that agreement, all the energies that have been programmed to be present in that discussion will be absent. So you realize that your discussion will be vague and void. And these are things people don't know. So you realize that the rich and successful don't joke with time and don't joke with appointments. Anybody who is rich and has been successful in what he has done, if ask their story and ask their history, they are people who are always conscious of time because they understand the gravity and the magnitude of time. But what people who are not successful, they just play around with time. They do things anyhow. They don't program their life. Because even in spirituality, if you want to be very successful and go very fast, you must have time. Because let me tell you something. If you have a prayer room and you have where you set an altar, where you pray or you meditate, whatever you do, and you do it at a consistent time within a consistent duration, what happens is that even by the time you are ready to sit, the energies are ready. Because they know that at this time, Mr. So and so is present, coming to communicate with us. Anybody who is inconsistent with his time in terms of spirituality never have profound response to his prayers. So today we're requesting for a business breakthrough at 11 o'clock, tomorrow 11 o'clock, the next day 11 o'clock, and the next day it comes 12 o'clock, and the next day it comes 2 o'clock, and the next day it comes 3 o'clock. Inconsistent with time, the energies will not be serious with you. So there are times when I need to do something, I start a program and I need to do it, and maybe I go to town and I'm caught up with traffic. Whilst I'm in the vehicle coming, I begin to communicate with them. Be patient with me, it's not deliberate. Something hold me up. I'm on my way, I'll be there too, because they are omnipresent, they are there. Just like when you have an appointment with somebody and then you are late, you need to communicate with the person for the person to know that no, you have it in mind, but something just hold you up beyond your control. But on our side of the world, one of the reasons why we are not prospering, we find it hard to make a headway in life, because we are not respecters of time. We disregard time, we disrespect time. And anybody that disregard time and disrespect time, it doesn't matter how much fortune you get, the tendency that you're going to lose it is high. I have seen people lost huge opportunity to people who respected time. I have seen people walk into tender rooms, by the time they got there, the tender is over. Maybe that tender was scheduled by divinity for them. But because of their disregard for time, they may lose that opportunity. So today, I want us to talk about time. I'm not here to teach you how to manage your time, as I told you. I'll just give you a preamble to how important time is within manifest creation. And everything within manifest creation is controlled by time. Time is only relevant within our space. When you transcend our space, time is immaterial. Beyond Earth space, time doesn't work there. Time is only relevant within our space, because everything within our space is governed by time. And the reason why things are given birth to, they grow, they decay and die, is because of the control of time. So if you want to live within manifest creation and live peaceably and be successful and have sound mind, you must operate according to the time and the seasons which governs manifest creation. But when you transcend the physical consciousness, you realize that the time is illusion. That we can treat it another time. But now I am talking about a state of consciousness where you are operating within manifest creation, within the intellect. and how do you go about it? So we are going to talk about time. Each and every soul has its time. And there are watches that control. There are times within our space there are four cardinal times within our manifest creation, within our space that control activities. And we call them the four watches of the day. They watch over the day. Now, when we take this an extra from one of the books I'm working on about time, let's take Mark chapter 6, verse 47. Mark chapter 6, verse 47.
Mark chapter 6, verse 47. And I read from the King James Version. And when even was come, the ship was in the midst of the sea, and he alone on the land.
48.
48. And he saw them toiling and rolling, for the wind was contrary unto them. And about the fourth watch of the night, he cometh unto them, walking upon the sea, and would have passed by them.
So, around what time of the night?
The fourth watch of the night.
The fourth watch of the night. So this is one of the watches of the day, of the fourth watch of the night. Let us read Luke chapter 12, verse 38.
Luke chapter 12, verse 38. And I read, and if he shall come in the second watch, or come in the third watch, and find them, so blessed are those servants.
You see? So there is talking about the second watch and talking about the third watch. So let's read Matthew chapter 14, verse 25.
Matthew chapter 14, verse 25. Matthew 14, 25. And I read, and in the fourth watch of the night, Jesus went unto them, walking on the sea.
See? So you read that the Bible is referred to certain watches of the day and of the night. And you must understand when they say the first watch, what is the first watch? When they say the second watch, what is the second watch? When they say the third watch, what is the third watch? And when they say the fourth watch, what is the fourth watch? These are keys you can use to pray. So you don't need to wake up and pray throughout the whole night. All night. You are doing all night for what? The body has been designed to sleep at certain times. It's because you are ignorant. And you see, because you are ignorant of the watches of the day and of the night, sometimes we will pray and then our prayer meets up with one of the watches, and then there's a manifestation, then we call it a miracle. But when you understand, you just know that, okay, the first watch is between maybe this period to this period. So that's the time you pray. Or whatever you want to do, whatever spiritual act you want to do, or whichever thing you want to do, you have to do it. But those are the periods that you need to put your appointments. I mean, this I'm talking about spiritual appointment. We come to this one, then we come to the real issues. So you must understand that they are watching. The word is not just there. Things are not just happening for happening's sake. If not so, there will not be morning and evening. There will not be sunrise and sundown. And you must understand the times and the seasons, because now, unfortunately, we are living under the control of an artificially set time we call the Gregorian calendar. So if you are not living according to the natural calendar or the natural time, you are living according to the Gregorian time. And that is the problem we are having. So everything, there's a little bit of mix up somewhere. So we must understand the periods in which we are supposed to do things and the periods in which we are not supposed to do things. This is key to your success in life. You just don't wake up and do things anyhow. You just don't wake up and book appointments anyhow. You just don't wake up and start a project anyhow. You just don't wake up and then set up a business anyhow. You just don't wake up and launch your company anyhow. You just don't wake up and open your office any day and any time. This is what you need to understand. And out of the 7 days, there are days that are not good for you. These are things you must understand about yourself. Because here in the Way Network, here at the Way Network, we are teaching you personal development. And this personal development will lead you to self-reliance. All these things I am teaching is part of the journey of realizing who you are, because they are components of your personality. And your personality is part of who you are. So people call me, how can I realize myself? All these things you need to know because they are part of your personality. It's part of knowing who you are. But when you know that Tuesday is not good for you, you don't do things on Tuesday. So you know yourself that Tuesday is not good for you. So it's part of the information or the data or the knowledge of discovering who you are. So you must understand that to be successful in this life, time and season are very, very necessary and are very, very relevant. And they play an integral part, an integral role in how your life will become on this earth. So this is what you need to do. One of the components you need to know, you need to understand, is a component of your time on earth. You have been given 70 years on earth. What is the breakdown of the 70 years on earth? How are you supposed to be like? Because life is a circle and it's being governed by time. You must understand it. So I would want to put this thing on the board for you. So before we go to today's activity, let's understand the 4 watches. Okay. So we have the first watch. And the first watch is, I'm giving you the time for the first watch within the Gregorian calendar. So you understand when the Bible talks about the first watch, as we read in Matthew, Mark, Luke, what it means by the first watch. And when they talk about the second watch, what time is the second watch? They talk about the first watch. So when they say the first watch, it's actually around evening, which is sunset. And the period is 6 p.m. to 12 p.m. Sorry, 6 p.m. to 9 a.m. It's about a 3-hour period. To 9 a.m. That is the first watch. Now the second watch is somewhere around evening to midnight. Evening to midnight. And that is from 9 p.m. to 12 a.m. Now, the third watch which the Bible sometimes call it the cock crow Okay, you realize Jesus Christ told Peter, by the time by the cock crow, you will denounce me. So it's sometimes called the cock crow. That is from 12 a.m. to 3 a.m. And the fourth watch, which for morning hours, is 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. These are the four watches of the day. And you can use this for prayers. And they are the most powerful watches of the day because these are the time, the cosmic energies, the celestial beings, and then other entities, including the witchcraft, they operate within these periods. So rather, actually, within our space, within manifest creation, the day actually starts from 6 p.m. in the evening. It doesn't start from 6 a.m. in the morning. The 6 a.m. you are using, that is the Gregorian calendar. They have turned it upside down because the prophecy said that they will come and change the time and the seasons to confuse you. So they have turned it upside down. So what life you are living now does not correspond with the universal time. So everything you realize that you are doing all the prayers and things are not happening because the time you are using. Because at this time, okay, from this period to this period, these are the time the angelic beings and all the entities are at work. You understand? And that is why witchcraft, they all work in the evening. And that's why when I see people praying at the church and say we pray against the powers of darkness, I realize that they are ignorant because you just don't pray against powers of darkness. But there are two powers working in darkness. You have the divine powers or the positive powers, and you have the negative powers. So when you see, and they are all working in what? So when you talk about powers of darkness, you say, I pray and I burn against the powers of darkness. And at the same time, you are praying for your blessings. So the angel that has come to bring the blessing, you are binding that energy because it's a powers of darkness. You get the whole thing. So from 6 p.m., that is when actually in the real world, or not the illusion, what we live, our what we call daytime is night, and what we call night is actually day. And what we call life is death, and what we call death is life. This is the illusion we are living in. This is the deception we are living in. So the day you die is the day that you begin to live. Because that the real self, which is trapped and suppressed within the personality, will become awoken to the realities and the actualities of existence. So life actually begins the day you exit the physical body. Yet, with spiritual practice, you can live the day within the day of the night. Because though you are living in the night per the physical measurement, but because you are working, the soul is working inside you, it is seen beyond what the physical is seeing. You see, so that is the problem. So you just don't go to church and pray against the powers of darkness. If I should advise you, I always tell my fellow Christians, when you are praying, you pray against the evil powers of darkness. If you want to pray against any forces of darkness, your words must be definite. I pray against the evil powers or the evil forces of darkness, because there are also good powers of darkness. So you just don't pray against the powers of darkness in general. That is a very ignorant prayer. And that is why, especially we Christians, we have been praying and our answers have not been coming. Because we pray a very vague and ignorant prayer. And that's why when Jesus Christ spoke to his disciples, Also, you pray and you don't have answers because you pray amiss. You pray anyhow. But you must understand the protocols of prayer. You see, so when you want to pray against any forces of darkness, be definite and be specific. The evil forces of darkness, because they are the good forces. You think if there is no good forces of darkness, when you go and sleep, what forces protect and guides you from the evil invasion that you wake up the following morning, refresh, replenish, and everything? You go to sleep, you are so tired, and you wake up in the morning, replenish. There are certain forces that does that, and those are good powers. Those are good forces of darkness. They are called the forces of darkness because they operate in darkness, but they are good. Have you ever seen a seed germinate daytime before? A plant never germinates daytime. By the time you wake up in the morning, the plants are shut up. There's a force which is responsible for that. Have you ever seen a fruit on a tree coming up daytime before? No. Every fruit on a tree, by the time you wake up the following morning, the fruit has appeared. And all this is being done by the good powers of darkness. They work in the darkness. So you just don't wake up and pray against the powers of darkness in general like that. So when you bind the powers of darkness in general, you are binding both the good and the bad. So your words must be very definite. That's just by the way, it just came out across to looking at. And all these things are things you should take note of. So these are the 4 watches. Later on, we're going to read the angels that control the 4 watches, the archangels that control the 4 watches, and all that. But that's not part of our main topic we are going to discuss today. So these are the 4 watches. And you must understand you can pray according to these times, depending on what you want and how you go about certain things. You see, and when you watch, it's all between the 3-hour periods. You see, it's all between 3-hour periods. So you don't need to wake up all night and pray all night. For what? You pray all night. Why? You think the intelligent God that created us has no sense? And it thinks what is your problem? What problem at all do you have that you have to stay all night? And I'm telling you, I was discussing with a pastor friend. I'm saying that the crop of religious leaders, pastors, let me say, because this is for the good of the church. It is for the love of the church. That's why I'm saying this, not because I'm against the church. The group of pastors that has come nowadays, they should watch the way they do things. But their lifestyle and the things they are introducing to the body of Christ is causing more trouble than not. Look at the high level of hypertension we have in our system today. Because when the body must sleep to rejuvenate itself, you are awake. I don't want to mention them. You know those groups. I am telling you, they are causing more troubles than not. Prayer is good. We all pray. I pray. We all pray. We all love to pray because prayer is man's way of communicating with the divine entity or the creator. Okay? And meditation is man's way of listening to the divine creator. So prayer and meditation are very good, but we must do it consciously and with understanding. And the reason why you are called to pray all night, because you don't know when the blessing will come or where the angel that receives your prayer will come. But with this understanding, you pray according to time. Look at certain other religions, our other brother religions. There are times when the time comes, they just rain. They call out for prayer because they're working according to time. But you are there. You say you know all things, and you're just messing everything up. So please, there's no need wasting your time praying all night. It doesn't change anything. Jesus Christ said it. If I'm the one that is, you think I'm creating the confusion. Jesus Christ said it. It says, not by your many words that you do in prayer that will bring answers. I'm not the one saying it. It's not what are you saying to God that you have to wake up all night, 12 hours? What are you saying? I said, for by many words, that doesn't mean your prayer will be listened to. So please, let us understand the 4 watches of the day, and then let's see how we use them to our advantage. This is just a bonus. It's not part of our main lectures, but it came along, so let it be. Now, today, actually, what we are going to discuss today is about understanding yourself, knowing your time and your season. Because everybody has a lucky number and has a lucky day and has a lucky color. We've treated the colors already, though they've started uploading them. I know it will come. So you check them when they come. Today we are going to talk about days. Each and every soul, according to the time you are born, have your lucky days, your unlucky day, and then your most vibrating hours within the day. Spiritually, we use hours, we don't use time. So what I'll do is that I'll try to convert the hours into time, so that when I put your lucky hours, you can now refer it to the diagram. So let's understand the time, the hours in relation to the time, because now universally we use time. According to cosmic, we use hours, but according to Gregorian calendar, we use time. So now let me get this extract. I pray that very soon this book will come out. I wrote this book about 13 years ago, but they've not given me the order and the instruction to print it out, so I have not done it yet. When they give me to come, it's a whole book on prayer, the timing, how to pray, when to pray, and all those things, and all the various cosmic timing and arrangement and personality and everything is inside. It's in the book. So we are going to take every true time begins with sundown. That is 6 p.m. Sundown. That's why when you read the Bible, say, and the evening and the morning was day one. It didn't say, and the morning and evening was day one. So the day one does not begin with morning and evening. It begins with evening and morning was day one. So it is sundown to sunrise. And they have come to change it from sundown to sunrise to sunrise to sundown. It's funny, eh? It's very, very funny how the whole world has been misled to believe in the unbelievable, to accept the unacceptable, and to imagine the unimaginable. So people are living like zombies, being controlled by certain, and they deliberately created a system. They understand what they have done. They created a system to benefit themselves, and they use you as a pawn to protect the knight and the king on the chessboard. So basically, this is how it goes. So because you understand it in order not to create confusion, because you understand time from the sunrise to sundown, I'll take it like that. So we take it from sunrise to sunset or sundown.